Welcome to episode 2 of Bakemonogatari. Last time we had a very unique, stylish introduction, getting to know the characters a little bit. Araragi, Senjogahara, gotta get her weight back from this crab. It was mostly just a very visually interesting episode, and I'm curious to see more and what it's like going forward. Just one episode really wasn't enough. I want to see more of what this series has to offer, so we're going to watch it and discuss it at the end. Got the timer and subtitles if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull up the episode on your own, but either way, let's go ahead and watch episode 2. In 3, 2, 1, play. I just want to see more inventive, like all this, inventive shots. Directing, see what else they do. The visuals are just really nice to look at. She did say that she was well off. So we got her taking a shower right away. Really now. Some fan service. Alright, so she's had some hard times. Living with her dad in this place. Belly button. Like, look at this, is just so creative. I feel like it's really easy to take it for granted. You just be like, yeah, it's these shots, whatever. But, I mean, when you really think about it, again, I haven't read the books or anything, but generally, most adaptations, or just most shows, they put the stuff on the screen, and it's not really a lot of thought put into it. It's not a lot of creativity. Like, they had to have the ideas to make those shots all look that way, and then actually do it well. And it's impressive. So yeah, while the OP is playing, let me just say that if you enjoyed these videos, subscribe to the channel, because we got a new episode every Saturday, in addition to all the other videos that I do every day throughout the week. And we can talk about it on Discord, if you want to check that out, and Twitter and all that stuff. And if you enjoy the videos a lot, then you can support the channel on Patreon, which allows me to continue running the channel and making the videos. And you get rewards, like early videos. So, yeah, those links are in the description below if you want to check those out. And yeah. The OP is really cool. I haven't really gotten into the song yet. Haven't really been paying much attention to it, honestly, because the visuals have just been more interesting with the staplers and the giant Senjogahara. But yeah, here we go. Some more Hitagi crab. We got parking up on the roof. You can only save yourself. Alright, you've lost me. I was reading it okay at first. A silent voice. I've read it. Haven't seen the film. Hitagi Crab Part 2. I was reading those okay at first, and I was feeling pretty good. And then they just went rapid fire. And so, before they went back to her place. Why exactly did he want her to go wash and change clothes? Is that actually relevant? What are you getting out of this? This music. This is creepy. What does he want out of it? Just money. Honestly, I wasn't expecting him to ask for money. What did you get charged? The class rep. What did you help her with? 5 million. Your situation was more dire. So I don't know what's going on with class rep. There was that whole like white-haired cat girl thing. Okay, I didn't know what he would ask for. I didn't know if it'd be money or just who knows what. I'm glad that music stopped. That was scary. Alright, she's out and naked. She's got to get them. You're in front of him. I'm sorry? Using a towel to cover your body is what poor people do. In that it literally makes no sense in any conceivable reality. But okay. Nice. Good for you, pal. You did it. She doesn't seem to give a shit. Just put on the underwear. Very detailed. My god. She's very open about her underwear. She's gonna tease him a lot. Might not want to stand up though, because you probably would reveal something. Still in the underwear though. Nice. Okay, I guess. Sure, if that's what you want to thank him with, then that's fine. Voice your opinions, boy. That works, I suppose? Or not? Okay, bad answer. Wow, just berating him. Whoa, that's harsh. I don't. Are you gonna say that you're not? Wow. Oh my god! Oh my god. I love her. She's fantastic so far. Uh, could be. Maybe not. He didn't really seem to me in episode 1. She's very enjoyable. I like the dialogue a lot too. Yeah, that's what he said. I don't know what he did. So clearly there's stuff that's already happened with Hanekawa as well that we'll learn about. I love the backgrounds. And Senjogahara in the foreground is nice to look at too. Legs. Legs! No? No good? Not the right outfit? Okay. We have to strip again. Yep, back to the underwear. I love the shot, like, from outside. Back to the the dresser. More clothes. The patterns on the moon. Like isn't there a rabbit? The man in the moon. The first time since I was born. Okay, cool. Well, you asked the question. Jeez. I'd say she knows all about it. Wow. God damn. It's good. She should be proud. Just saying. Yeah, clothes are boring. Who likes clothes? That's true, actually. That's interesting when she weighs so little. Plus, also, like, figuratively heavy. How did you have been wearing it on your sleeves? You've been bearing it all on your body and your thoughts. It's not a secret that you think he's dumb and a virgin and that he spits. 74? Ooh. It would be 0 if you round it. This is oh, that face. Senjo Gahara is like genuinely hilarious. So she's 100. He's 0. It's now a white outfit. You're gonna go eat crab. Is this whole episode just gonna be in this room of her changing clothes, trying to pick what to wear? That's fine. I'd be fine with that. Okay, never mind, we're leaving. But wow. Alright, here we are. Back at midnight. The red everywhere. Hey there. I don't think so. Do you now? Good choice. Alright, no makeup. Just bearing your true self. Did he? I don't think he did. Okay, he did. Alright. Why did they have to be clean? The perverted cat. Okay, so that's one thing Hanekawa was involved with, and Shinobu as well. Okay, well, let's try that. Prayer. It's worth a shot, I suppose. It's very ominous, the close-ups on his mouth, though. Yeah, I would think that you guys are nothing to them. Do you think that it is? Oh! It's everywhere, huh? It's horror movie music. This music, it sounds like somebody's about to get stabbed. This environment honestly looks like it, too. Is that like a euphemism for alcoholism? A short, make you die faster? Alright, this is an interesting way of resolving the conflict. I really didn't know what we were going to do in this episode, how we were going to deal with the crab. I didn't really expect this, so we'll see what happens. July. Hey, I'm watching this on July 1st. It's pretty close. 7/7. Wow, not gonna divulge that. Not into music. Yeah. Doesn't want to say that either. Or divorce. Or the cult. That's creepy as hell. Whoa. Jesus. Um. Uh. Wow. Good for you. Jesus Christ. This is. This got dark. Wow. What a horrible thought to have. Wow. Live action. Ah. This is fucking horrifying. Hi, crab. Yeah, he can't see it. What a. I wouldn't think so, no. This has gone in a very interesting direction. Now she's been slammed into the wall, and I love the way it looks. It's crushing her. Are you gonna toss the crab? Holy shit. Threw him over his shoulder. Stomped on him. But that's not how we. Oh, you hate crabs. Okay? It's not how we really solve the problem at hand. I think she's got to take care of this herself. Yeah, like it takes the weight off of people, like the burden off of them. But that's a part of her. So of course she wants it back, and she can deal with it in her own ways. She did. Oh my god. Look at this. Oh my... That's horrifying. The crab. I love that. Flashback. End of flashback. Perfect that it's a crab then, because obviously it's got its claws. Wow, what an interesting direction to take something like this in. This is really, really good. A precious friend. Even though his IQ is 0 or whatever. And he's got STDs and is a virgin, both of those things. And spits. I'm sure you will. Whoa. His face. Oh, the sisters. I think he has the same... I've heard this before just because it's an interesting possible coincidence. That's nice. 100? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he has the same voice actor as Izaya from Durarara, which is interesting because he also has two little sisters, one who wears yellow and one who wears green. And Araragi also has that. I think they have the same voice actor, and that's either a coincidence or weird typecasting. I had heard that mentioned before. But yeah, wow! I mean, episode 1... I'll talk about this more in the discussion afterwards, but I want to watch the ending and whatever else is happening. So just brief thoughts. Episode 1, really hooked me with its style and with its visuals. And episode 2 had more of that as well. Even more so, because I was kind of genuinely terrified. I haven't been that freaked out by something in a while. Can't even remember. Definitely not by an anime. That's one of the scariest things I've ever seen in anime, honestly. That was just genuinely freaky. But now this went a lot further than that and got me genuinely really into the character of Senjo Gahara. The first half, she was just really funny, and then the second half got really serious in ways I didn't see coming. Wow! That was one of the best episodes of anime I've watched in a long time. I mean, I've been watching a lot of stuff for this channel recently and watching a lot of good stuff. But still, this is up there. This is a really great episode, I'm saying. So they're going to the jungle gym next time. Metal bar special. Yeah, why not? Some other girl. A bus driver. Oh, you're going to ask who's driving the bus, and it's me. It's my name. I knew it. I got it right again. I got the quiz at the end right. I got it right because I'm a super genius apparently. The Mayoi snail next apparently. So we're done with the crab and now snails. Wow. Anyway, let's talk about that one. All right, episode 2. That was pretty fantastic, I have to say. Episode 1 had me really intrigued by the visuals mostly and the style, and I wanted to see where the characters would go. I liked what little bit that we got with them. I was pretty entertained by Senjo Gahara, but this episode just took it to a completely new level with the visuals and with the characters, and has 2 pretty distinct halves. The first half I was just having a lot of fun with, and it was funny and enjoyable, and there was some fan service, and then the second half got very serious and very dark, and the first half is interesting to look back on after that because it adds a lot more context to it. And yeah, there were some serious emotions on display in this episode. I felt a lot of stuff, and like overall, just the whole presentation of this, just like I said in the reaction, made this one of the most interesting and one of my favorite episodes of anime that I've seen in quite a while. And I'm watching a lot of anime on this channel right now, and yeah, there's been a lot of good shows that I've been watching, many that have had standout episodes, and yeah, this is just one of the top ones. Like out of all the episodes I've seen recently that are near the top of my list, this is one that it feels extremely memorable. It's really, really good. Just the visuals. Oh my god. I love the shots of their house at the beginning during all the fan service scenes, how it's like from this outside perspective with all the rafters. I just really like the way that looked. And then towards the end, the music as well. The whole presentation. The music was creepy. The setting that they're in of this altar with all the candles burning and the low light, and just all the different styles that they use, like the shadowy figures, the red shadowy guy, the cuts to live action, just all the different cuts. Again, like I said in episode 1, I could talk about literally every single shot, but during that whole scene with Senju Gahara confronting the crab and the flashback and everything, that was amazing. That was genuinely horrifying. The context, obviously, because of this cult that her mother was in and this attempted rape and this horrible thing that she went through, but they nailed it with the visual presentation and the music in really selling it. That scene alone was really impactful. Like, by the time that scene was over, I had some tears in my eyes during the whole thing when she's talking about her assault, and by the time that whole thing was over, I'm like, geez, I'm gonna have nightmares about all that. Just like all the shots of the mother with the red, and man, that was phenomenal. Again, like, I really cannot overstate the amount of effort that it seems like went into the visual presentation. It is truly phenomenal, but in the actual content of the story, we have the first half of the episode, which is at Senju Gahara's place that she's at with her dad. All we really know at the beginning is that her mom got involved with a cult and lost all their money, and they split up, and now she's living with her dad. We know that a little bit. We don't find out the full extent until later, but this whole thing is her taking a shower and then coming out naked and seeing how Araragi reacts to this whole thing. And this scene works as many different things. It works as fan service, because Senju Gahara is sexy and the art is really good, and I did achieve the boner, as Araraki I'm sure did as well. It works as just playful banter because it was really funny and it got me to really like Senju Gahara. I was already enjoying her, but I was like, wow, she's extremely entertaining. She's horribly mean to this boy and it's really funny. And then of course the stuff that was added later added a lot more emotional depth to her character, and I just liked her even more. And like I said, I mean, there's already good character stuff in that scene as well, but then especially after you have the context of the second half of the episode, looking back at the first half and really realizing everything that was going on there, just is so much in terms of her character. It's interesting that she would display herself like that after what she has been through, after being the victim of an attempted rape in such a horrible situation, that she would be willing to show off her naked body and be so open sexually to this person that she barely knows at all. You would usually expect that not to be the case. But I guess maybe it kind of affected her in like the opposite way, kind of made her, I don't know, think that like, rather than thinking like being afraid sexually, it made her kind of more open sexually in a way, or at least made her think like that she can use her sexuality the way that she did in this episode, because she clearly used it to her advantage to mess with Araragi and kind of get a read on him. So in a way, that's kind of like taking her abuse and using it in a positive way to benefit her, like taking, I don't know what she learned there, but just taking what happened to her and kind of being able to use it to her advantage when she needs to later. It's great that this whole thing is basically like with her in control. This isn't just him walking in on her in the shower, or him accidentally seeing her panties, or him falling on her and she going, ah, and just generic anime stuff where he just happens to see her all the time. It's just crazy. She is the one doing it all. She walks out naked, she puts on the underwear, she spurs him on to give his opinions on it all. She like goads him and makes him go through all of this. She gets dressed, takes it off again because I forgot to dry my hair. So she's the one putting it all out there, which is much better for sure. Just from a pure fan service point of view, it's much less gross and generic. Like even if you don't find it gross, which usually in most anime I don't. It's whatever. They put fan service in there. They like to look at the boobies and the butts, whatever. I don't really care. But it's so annoying and boring and generic. Like, oh, you walked in with her naked. Wow, that happened? I can't believe it. But this, it was well done. And like I said, it's not just about the fan service. It shows some of her character as well. It seems like a lot of this is them getting to know each other, and she's seeing what kind of person he is because she has trust issues. Like with Oshino, she's immediately says like, okay, but like, what do you want in return? You're not just going to help me for nothing. Immediately she says like, what do you want? And he wants money, which helps us learn a little bit more about some other stuff that happened in the past as well. Like with Hanekawa, apparently she had involvement with Oshino as well, and they needed help with something. They were attacked by Shinobu, so we don't know what the deal is there. And a perverted cat. So we saw, like, when he was talking to Hanekawa, the flashes with the white-haired cat girl, and I don't know if that was, like, another form of Hanekawa, or if that's what I thought at the time, because it was cutting to that from her. But if that's who attacked her, and maybe she's like a werecat. I don't know. But something like that. But yeah, she's clearly involved with all this and has had some supernatural experiences of her own. And we get to know a little bit more about her through their conversations, and how Araragi apparently does not have a crush on her, just respects her. And I didn't really feel like he did from the first episode, what little we saw of the two of them. But back to Senjogahara, she's saying like, oh, this is to thank you for today, like my nudity and my underwear, this is to thank you. And she tells him like to appreciate it, and she gets mad when he doesn't, and she asks for his opinion, and then she gets mad at that too, like, oh, you have a great body. And some of the insults were just really funny. Like I said, it worked as just banter because it was very entertaining. Like, he's going to be a virgin forever, and then he has his retorts like, what are you, a time traveler? And she just lays it on one after another. You're spitting when you're talking. And fine, if you're not a virgin, I don't want to catch your STDs that you got from hookers and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my god, she was being really cruel. And it was honestly really funny. Like, oh, do you really have a brain in there? And then the academic scores, how she rounded his down to 0 from 46, and from hers in the 70s up to 100, because she wanted to be 100 ahead of him. That was really funny. Learn a little bit more about Araragi, like that he's into astrology when they're talking talking about the moon and the different things that people see in the moon, which I guess is just more about perspective and seeing things in different ways. And we'll see what else the show has to say about that as we go, but that was something that was mentioned at the end of episode 1. So just thought I'd bring it up a little bit there again too. But she's impressed by his knowledge about the astrology, but I loved the line, that's the first time since I was born that I've been impressed with you. That was just really good. Just really creative stuff where I was really enjoying the writing and the dialogue between the two of them. I thought it was very snappy. It went by really quick. There's a long scene of just the two of them in this room talking, and it wasn't boring at all. They kept the visuals really interesting, constantly cutting and showing different things, making use of the environment and the backgrounds and just different positions, different Senjo Gahara poses, and of course the fan service just on a surface level added to that as well. But they just did a really good job keeping things exciting visually, because I'm watching Katanagatari right now as well, which is also Nisio Isin. But sometimes the anime for that sometimes doesn't move. Sometimes there'll just be a long conversation and the characters will just sit in a room and the camera just shows them sitting there, and it gets to a point where you're like, alright, can we leave this room? But they really keep it visually interesting, which is great. I wasn't sure exactly why they needed to shower and be clean for this. I guess it's just part of the ritual. You just have to be clean. You just have to be down to like your honest self. No like dirt or anything muddying you. She wears this clothes that he describes as honest and wears no makeup, maybe again to just like present your true honest self. And I didn't know how this whole crab plot would go, but I didn't think it would be like this. Going to this altar and praying to it and then resolving it the way that they did was pretty interesting. I like that a lot, seeing that Oshino is the real deal. He knows what he's doing here. Again, the visuals of this whole thing was just fantastic, along with the music. But yeah, getting the entire story here about her mom getting into this cult and this man attempting to rape her, who she fended off, but then her mom didn't do anything. She didn't try to help her at all, and her mom was actually punished for this because this guy was one of the higher-ups. And like one of the absolute darkest parts is that Senjo Gahara had the thought, if I hadn't resisted, maybe my family wouldn't have gotten into this broken state. Holy shit. That is messed up. That's genuinely really dark. She actually thought, if I hadn't fought back against being literally raped by this man when she was in like middle school, yes? Maybe my family wouldn't have been broken apart. That she would feel that kind of guilt about the action of not letting yourself get raped. That is really messed up. And the fact that her mom got into the cult in the first place because Senjo Gahara was sick when she was younger, and I guess her mom just needed some consolation. She maybe turned to this like religion or whatever it was, or these people peddling some kind of false religion, whatever they were doing. She fell into them, and of course, that's on them. They're the ones behind this whole thing who took advantage of her and had her do all this, making me think of Moeka and Steins Gate, which I'm also watching right now. But like kind of to a worse degree here. Definitely like can blame them, but really can't forgive the mom for letting it go there. That's no, you can't do that. That is insanely messed up. But I love the way this all resolves, because of course the crab took her literal physical weight, but it also took the weight of these feelings, that were weighing her down. That's what she wanted to get rid of. Because he said before, like, these crabs, they won't come or they won't take anything unless you wish for something. And that's what she asked for. She wanted that burden off of her shoulders, the weight of worrying about her mother and all this stuff that happened, to be taken away from her. But I like what he said about the gods, how they don't care about humans. They're not gonna make those kind of specific distinctions. It's just going to take her weight, literally, as well, in addition to that. And I love the resolution that it comes to here, that, like, those are her feelings, regardless of how terrible they are. They are a part of her. They're her thoughts and her memories, and that she needs to accept them and shoulder them, and she can't just pawn them off on someone else. Like, these are obviously horrible thoughts, like, about, the blame that she feels for herself, but it's not immediately about getting over them, right now. Maybe we'll get more of that later, and her dealing with this and her relationship with her mom. I can't imagine this is just the end of her story arc. Like, she's friends with Araragi now, but I'm sure she'll get more development down the line. But for now, the first step is just accepting the feelings as your own. Like, she just needs to deal with them herself. Like Oshino says, I could crush the crab, and that would be over with. But no, she needs to deal with it properly in the way that's best for her and that's going to help her. And I think that's what we're mostly going to be doing with this show. We're going to fight or maybe not fight, but, deal with these supernatural creatures or encounters that also, in a way, help the characters deal with their own psychological issues. And I just really liked it. I liked the way the crab looked and everything in that whole scene as she dealt with it, and she stood up for herself and then said, yes, thank you for trying to help, but I want it back. That is a part of me. I want to take it on, and I'm going to shoulder it. She shouldn't forgive her mother here, but, just having those memories of her, it's a part of her. And because, they say that things aren't going to be fixed because of this. This isn't going to repair your broken home, and she definitely knows this, and I think because she knows that is definitely a reason why she would want the memories back. Like, well, if things can't be fixed, then I at least want to have the memories, because regardless, she is still her mother. There are nostalgic memories there are good feelings there too, and if she has to take the bad with the good and just shoulder it as a part of herself, then so be it. But it won't be entirely by herself, because now she's friends with Araragi, and that was great, where she's like, I hope to keep being close with you from now on. And that's really nice, that she can trust him, and hopefully Oshino, and hopefully some other people down the line, and that they'll be friends, and he can help her shoulder this weight as well. She can't just pawn it off and be rid of it entirely, but you can have people who are close to you that can help you deal with it. Like at the end, it's a funny little ending gag, like, shucks, I got struck by the crab god too, and now I'm 100 kilograms. But also it shows that he is now also shouldering her weight. I don't remember exactly what she said her weight was supposed to be in episode 1, but I would venture to guess that it was 45, because he's supposed to be 55 and he ended up being 100, so I would guess that that was literally showing her weight being added to him, just to show their new friendship and everything, and we get to meet his sisters at the end. But yeah, I don't think we're going to go on a plot to go summon the crab god again to take care of Araragi's weight now, but I think that'll be taken care of off screen or just not addressed. But yeah, it's mostly just to show, him helping out Senjogahara. So probably have to call the verbal abuse police. I mean, they're friends now, but just with her personality, those one-liners that she always throws out there, I feel like she'll keep doing that. And I'm sure he feels pretty differently too after learning about her backstory. You see his reactions when she's explaining it all and how shocked he is by it. Because going back to the fan service scene, when she's testing his reactions to all of this stuff and seeing what kind of person he is, he says some things that he regrets in the moment, and then probably some more later, like when he's talking about her changing the clothes and she mentions how the clothes feel heavy. He kind of immediately is like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. And neither did I. Like, they literally would feel heavy because of her weightless situation. And I wonder if there's any, probably not, but you can maybe look into that and say that, like, the societal expectations of wearing clothes can feel like a burden in some way when, like, you just want to express yourself. Probably not what they were going for there. Could be a little overanalyzing in that department, but it's a thought that I had. But either way, but then also saying, like, oh, you just want to show off that body you're so proud of, and, he might regret saying some stuff like that after finding everything out. But again, going back to that scene and hearing lines like him saying, why don't you just try to be optimistic? It's not like you're tricking yourself or anything. And she's like, maybe I am tricking myself. And then, of course, we find out she was, because she had literally tried to get rid of her worries about her mother and literally trick herself into being optimistic. And I love the visuals of the crab again. I really like the colors, like when her mom and everything was red and she was blue, and then the two blue birds flew away, which I guess would be her and her father. And again, this might be overanalyzing it, but whatever, I'm just gonna look into what I look into, and shit's subjective. Whatever. She was blue, and the birds were blue. But then when she confronted the crab, she was red. And that just made me think, like, that in that moment, she was red because she was being so heavily weighed down by the feelings of her mother and everything that had happened to her. And she was so weighed down by that stuff that she couldn't bear it anymore and wanted to get rid of it. I just love the colors. I love the visuals. It was fantastic. There's a little story at the beginning and all the text that I couldn't read as it was going, but I went back and looked about a man who sold his shadow. And he's like, yeah, it's my shadow, whatever, I don't know, who cares? What is the purpose of a shadow? But then people, like, freaked out because it's not normal. Like, there might not be any legitimate reason why not having a shadow is going to be bad for you or bad for anybody else. It's just, it's not normal, so we're gonna freak out. So that was a cool little thing to add in there at the beginning. There's a lot more to the crab as well that makes it really good. Like the name, being someone who doesn't speak Japanese, this is not something that I would have known, so it's cool to have it explained that it can be this heavy stone god, but it's also can be read as feelings and ties, which is really cool because obviously it's about both. It took her literal weight, but it was also about severing the feelings that she had. Also cool that it is a crab because the crabs have claws and it could literally sever something should it choose to. So really cool. Again, I don't know if this is based on any folklore, but if Nisi Oisin just came up with it, the fact that it's a crab and that its name is what it is and that it does what it does all works really well together. I liked that a lot. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what happens in the future. I love Senjogahara, honestly. She's great. She's really fun and funny while also having a lot of depth to her. And I can't wait to see where she goes, because, I mean, like, this was huge. The stuff that we saw in this episode was huge, so I hope she doesn't just kind of stagnate. Considering how popular of a character she is, just in general, I'm sure she gets a lot more down the line, so I hope that is the case. I'd like to see more of Hanekawa and see what the hell the perverted cat is all about. Get a little more Araragi. There's some new girl in the preview that I guess we'll deal with next time. There's probably a ton more. So many shots I could just talk about, so many little lines. I liked, what was it? She said the most pathetic person is the most foolish. I wonder if that was kind of maybe directed at her mother in a way, like somebody who would be tricked into a cult like that. I don't know. And it even adds more context to episode 1, because there was that line that at the time stood out to me, and I was like, whoa, when she said, like, don't get any ideas, my body isn't worth the jail time. Now, knowing what happened to her in her past, that may have just been a genuine concern of hers, that he could potentially actually try to rape her. And then she was willing to just see for sure, like, exactly what he was like after that. Again, the fact that she was willing to just put herself out there like that is surprising, but she was, to go that far to see, like, what this kid is doing, why he's helping me, does he have ulterior motives here? If I put myself out here like this, what's he gonna do? Just to gauge his reaction, and man, it's just real interesting to think about Senjogahara now. Like, I just really like her character. Yeah, honestly, like, the more I think about this episode, the more I love it. This was genuinely a fantastic episode. First half, I was having fun, while also learning more about Senjogahara a little bit, and then you learn so much about her, and it's so emotional, and the visuals were mind-bending and horrifying, as was the context of the story, and then that just gives you a whole new perspective on the first half, and again, that works as fan service, it works as fun banter, it works as characterization, and then more is added to it later. The second half is just craziness. And even immediately after it ended, I thought it was fantastic, and the more I think about it, the more I like it. Yeah. So, I'm immediately really into Bakemonogatari. The first episode just had me with the visuals, and I was like, I want to see where this goes. I want to see what kind of more inventive stuff they throw at me. But now I'm really in it for the characters and what they're going to go through. We don't know too many yet. We just have Senjogahara and Araragi mostly right here, but this has me excited to meet more and see if the things they go through will be anywhere near as good as what Senjogahara went through in this episode. So yeah, I am now excited. After the first episode, I was... What is it? Like, you had... What the fuck is it? You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention? Is that the thing? That applies perfectly here. Like, episode 1, at the end, it had my interest, for sure, but now it has my full excitement. So yeah, great episode. Really looking forward to see more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Twitter, Discord, we can talk about it wherever. There's probably a lot to talk about. I'd love to talk about it more. There's plenty more I can say probably, but I gotta call the video at some point so we can always continue the conversations elsewhere. Also, check out the Patreon if you want to see these videos a week early and support my ability to keep making these videos. Those links are all down below. Subscribe, all that great stuff. Thank you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the show now. This was a great second episode, so hopefully I'm doing justice to it and am not an idiot and you enjoy these videos. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.